welcome back to my channel. So I want to talk about the most recent episode of Love After Lockup, Where Are They Now?, which shared updates on Jessica and Amber. So first, let's start off with Jessica. So Jessica said she talks to Maurice about once every few months when he calls to check in on his son, but she said the amount of times that he checks on his son is minimal, and he has not came to visit his son at all, which is just pathetic in my eyes. Like, how do you go years without wanting to see your son at all? So the last time Jessica heard from Maurice was on their son's 3rd birthday, when Maurice called in the middle of Malik's birthday party and demanded to talk to him right then and there. And even Jessica's parents said that it's disappointing that Maurice has a mini version of himself out here. And just look at that guy. That guy is so cute. Their child is adorable. And this guy is so adorable and hilarious. And they don't understand how Maurice can so willingly miss out on all that. Jessica and her son are currently living with her parents. And her parents were living in a nice-sized mansion when we saw them during their season, but they've downsized, and her father has retired and her mother is half retired, so they're able to help around and support Jessica with Malik. And during the day, Jessica works and does grocery delivery, and during the night she spends her time with her son Malik and her family. And her son's 3 years old now. He has gotten so big. So Jessica said that she does not have Maurice's number because she quit saving his numbers, because every time he hits her up, it's from a different number, and it's always these text now numbers, which is just telling me this man can't even afford to pay his phone bill. And she says that she knows Maurice is somewhere in California, but she's not sure where exactly. She's heard from some people that he's staying in Long Beach, and she said that she ended up breaking things off with Maurice after they were living long distance, because he had to live back in California because his probation, and she was living back in Arizona, and he ended up cheating on her. He posted that nobody was there for him and he needed a ride. So that's when Moneybag Mandy came through and swooped Maurice up. And Mandy said that she didn't like the way that Jessica treated Maurice. She came out and said that she watched the show, and at the time she had a boyfriend, and she said that she'd watched the show and she was always thinking in her head, oh, if only I had a man like that, I would treat him so much better. So once she saw that Maurice was looking for someone to be there for him, she jumped all over that, and she was taking all these pictures with Maurice while she's hanging out with him and posting them on her social media. And not long after, some fans of the show ended up screenshotting the photos, sending them to Jessica. I could not find the exact picture, but I remember it was just Maurice and Mandy, and they were kind of standing like this, and he had a gun hanging out of his pocket. And I just remember rolling my eyes because the dude had just got out of jail and had no shame showing off his gun on social media. So Jessica ended up ending things with Maurice after she found out that he was cheating on her, and she said she's still currently married to Maurice. So that means that, Mandy, you're not married to that man, and I can't help but cringe every single time I hear Mandy call Maurice her husband. But she said that she has tried to serve Maurice multiple times with divorce papers, but she has not had any luck. So Jessica said last she heard, Maurice is with another girl, and I'm so glad she didn't name drop Mandy, because Mrs. Steal Your Man does not deserve any more clout, and I'm sure she's gonna come out to Maurice's defense and try to act like he's some stellar father. But we already know that's cap, and I just don't get how she brags so much about Maurice and how he's a prize when this man is a literal deadbeat. Jessica said that Maurice has been arrested 3 to 4 different times now, and if you guys haven't been keeping up with the drama, I got all the videos on his arrest on my channel if you go back and look up Maurice. And he's been arrested for shoplifting because he likes to allegedly steal from stores. He's been busted with drugs like heroin, cocaine, and pills. And there are a few other things that he's been arrested for, but I have to go back and look over all his past charges. But I'm shocked he's not back in prison with all the charges he's racked up since his release from prison and the level of some of his crimes. So after Maurice cheated, Jessica said she ended up selling off everything that was tied to him. She said that she sold the wedding dress for about $400 to $500 online. She tried to make some money off her wedding ring, but that was a fail because she took the wedding ring to the pawn shop and they told her the most she could get off of it was 5 cents for the metal because it was fake. So despite being a single mother, Jessica said she wouldn't trade her son for the world. The time she gets to spend with her son is the time she looks forward to the most in every single day. And even though Maurice isn't there for his son financially, Maurice's mother has been an active role for her grandson Malik. She calls all the time to check up on Malik. She has a good relationship with Jessica. And every single birthday and holiday of Malik, she sends money and presents. So at least she has that support from Maurice's side of his family. Jessica decided to switch it up and dye her hair like a brownish red color because she said the blonde made her look like she was washed out when she went back and watched her scenes on the show. And I like that color that she has in her hair now because with the blonde, I always felt like she looked like this guy from Dumb and Dumber. But Jessica said that she is really close with her sister, and back on the show, her sister was not approving of her marriage with Maurice. So for a while, the relationship was strained. But once Jessica and Maurice went their separate ways, Jessica rebuilt her relationship with her sister. And now they're closer than ever. And she loves the relationship that her sister has with her son Malik. And she says she's an amazing aunt. And besides that, I think that's really all the updates on Jessica. She said that she has not dated at all since her and Maurice broke up. And she has no intentions on finding anyone soon. And she said that Maurice will always have a place in her heart. But she thinks a lot of that's just because he gave her the son that she has. Right now, she's just focusing on her son and working, but she said later on in the future, she would like to eventually meet someone and settle down. So now let's go ahead and talk about Amber. So Amber and TC ended up going their separate ways for good after their last season together, and even after the breakup, they remained good friends. TC would call and they would chat and talk about life, but then TC ended up missing a few payments on the truck that they shared together, and that messed up Amber's credit score. And at first, Amber was hinting that she was with a guy, and I thought at first that TC was gonna walk out from the shadows. But this time, Amber has a new guy in her life named Hank. And even though it's a new relationship, he's not new to her life because they have known each other since teenagers. We got a glimpse at Amber's current boyfriend in the last season because he was actually one of the guys who showed up with Queen to help Amber move out of TC's. And Hank has always had a thing for Amber since they first met each other when they were 15. But they're just on two completely different pages and living different lifestyles because Amber was partying and using drugs. And Hank, on the other hand, was working all the time. And looking back, Amber said she felt like Hank was the guy who got away. And she always questioned where her life would have been if she would have gave Hank a chance. And things just never worked out because every time he was single, she was in a relationship, and when she was single, vice versa. So after TC and Amber called it quits, it was perfect timing for Amber and Hank to finally explore the relationship and take things serious. And Hank said that he was relieved to finally get his chance with Amber because he admitted that he's been crushing on Amber for over 25 years now. And Hank is not a bad looking guy in my opinion. And Amber seems super happy with him. And she was asked about her exes, and Amber says she hasn't talked to Vince since the show, which that's not surprising because she just used the man anyway. She was asked by producers to rate her exes, and she said that Sammy was actually better than TC because of how he trusted her during the baby situation. And she said that Vince doesn't count because they didn't do anything besides kiss awkwardly that one time on camera. So in Amber's last season, she said she considered being a part owner in this restaurant, going in on it with one of her friends. But she said she changed her mind and she's now a GM at the restaurant she's been working at forever. And she decided that the GM spot is fine for her and she doesn't want to deal with everything that comes with owning a restaurant. And she says she's good definitely on owning a bar. She has a small business where she does customization for t-shirts and different kinds of accessories. And she says it's actually a pretty lucrative income for her. So then Amber spoke on Puppy, and she said that Puppy's doing pretty good. She left Eric for good after we last saw her. And Amber said that her and Puppy's relationship isn't better, but she said that her and Puppy's relationship is kind of like a sister relationship where sometimes you'll fight, you'll argue, you'll put hands on each other, but then the next day you guys were closer than ever. Queen is doing really well. She said that Queen is living in Atlanta and she lost a gang of weight. So when we last saw Queen last season, I don't know how much she weighed, but she weighed at least like 400 pounds at least, it looked like. And now she's down to 180 pounds. So she's at least half or a third of the size she was since we last seen her. I wish I had some pictures to show you, but she looks so freaking good. So Queen looks to be doing great. Amber said that her and Queen are still really close friends. Queen is working at a restaurant in Atlanta where she is a co-owner. And then Amber addressed the backlash she received last season after she decided to have an abortion. She said that everyone was really supportive in the DMs and said that they could relate to her story because they had went through similar things at some point in their lives. But then she said in the comments on her social media, people were being so hateful. And she said that nobody saw the other 10 appointments that she went to. They only saw one little scene. So she wants people to back off and understand that. And she said no one saw the weeks of stuff that she went through and the things that the other doctors were telling her. But overall, Amber said she is super happy, especially in her relationship with Hank. She said they joke around about getting married, but they don't seem like they're in any type of rush right now. And I wish she would address like the drinking, if she's gotten better with her drinking problem, or what is the status on that. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. You can use code BOGO, all capital letters, and buy one lash, get one free for a limited time only. So check that out if you're interested. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.